and the content that I put out, I try to completely ignore all the nonsense that's going on around there, all right? But the thing is, these people don't give up. Again, this is a decade that they have found a way to prosper off of essentially being really disgusting to me, okay? So when I ignore them, now they have to go out of their way to find other ways to try to drag me into their toxic crap. They make up entirely huge conspiracy theory stories about me and things like that, which I don't talk about or entertain on my streams because they're not true and I don't bother with them, okay? So then they go out of their way to try other stuff. And what ends up happening is these people go crazy in circles, and they even start attacking each other. I mean, recently, another one of these stupid, days where just crazy stuff happens completely out of my control. What's actually started happening is I guess they've started copyright striking each other, impersonating me, using my information that they doxed years ago. Things like my name, my address, my phone number, things that should not be public record on the internet, but they found and they posted all over the internet. So they're using that information to issue false copyright strikes against each other and tear each other down. Yet then they blame me for it, all right? So a few weeks ago, on my actual birthday, when I should have been relaxing and having a good time with my wife, I spent time talking to YouTube chat, trying to let them understand that this isn't me. They ignored me and wouldn't even believe that it was an issue and saying that it wasn't true. Prepare for content ID on YouTube, because there sounds like there's lyrics in this song. Oh yeah. I then went ahead and proved my innocence by showing you guys my copyright claim history, showing that I didn't do any of these false claims. They're bullshit. I know they're not. I've never supported these kind of claims ever in the history of me being a content creator. I don't want people being claimed falsely on YouTube for things that are fair use. I proved my innocence. They don't care. Go fuck yourself. We don't care. These people, again, who are so toxic to me, if I am in the right, that doesn't help their narrative or their agenda. Their agenda is that I'm always a bad person, so they have something to talk about, you see? So why am I bringing this up today? Because essentially what's happened is they've tried everything they could. They harassed me for years and years. Now they're attacking each other for some unknown reason. Who knows why? I don't know, because I'm not involved. And now they want to try to drag me into that, and that's not working. Okay, I told them, I'm not part of your crap anymore. I laid down the law 3 weeks ago. I said, I tried to help you, and all you've done is be more and more toxic to me. I showed you the evidence it's not me, and you don't believe it, so I'm not going to bother anymore. You're the person who actually is sick, not me. Deal with this on your own account. Go sue whoever you need to sue at YouTube or whatever to say their copyright system is broken, but it's not me. Leave me alone. So after doing all of that, what's now happened is that they escalated it again. Oh, well, what else can we do? Well, now let's try to hurt Phil this way, that way, this way, that way. And the thing is, I don't sit here on my streams and talk about it. Why? Because when you entertain troll activity, you just give them the attention they want. Okay? It's very true. If I bring up all the things that people have done to me over the years to mess with me and my family, all it would do is make them feel empowered, and they would want to do more of it. I don't want to be a comedian. I don't want to be an entertainer, a cosplayer, a fucking skit maker, a video editor, a fucking, you know what I mean? You see? So instead of that, I just ignore it and I haven't mentioned any of it. All right? But the reason I'm bringing it up today is because now what they do is they escalate it to the next level. Oh, well, we've tried everything we can against Phil and nothing has happened, right? If you haven't noticed, I'm still here every day. I'm bringing you positive streams. We're having fun gameplay. People are supporting everything. It's all good. And they can't stand it. So what do? They now go after the viewers. And that's what I need to talk to you about today. This is a public service announcement to tell my viewership. And I'm talking to literally everyone who watches my content out there in any kind of a positive way. Fuck you. You got to be careful. On the internet, you absolutely have to be careful with the information you put out and the things that are out there, all right? This means if you are someone on the internet who's going to actively watch a content creator, you should not be using your real name. You should be making an account that's an alternate or an alias or something that's completely fabricated. You should not have an account that's linked to real-life social media accounts on places like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. None of that should be in line, because if it is, let's say someone doesn't like you for some odd reason. Like, for example, you're watching a content creator and supporting a content creator that they don't like. Well, now they can actively go after you and try to harass you. And the more real life information is tied to your online presence, the more ammo they now have to try to harass you. And I know this sounds really stupid, because you might say, wait a minute, they're going to try to go after Phil by attacking viewers. How does that hurt Phil? And here's the truthful answer. It doesn't. It never has, and it never will. My viewership is my viewership. You come by, you watch, great. You decide not to watch anymore, great, that's your choice, right? People come and go all the time. People come and support the stream. Then they decide, well, I can't do it right now, or I've moved on from the content. I'm not excited for it anymore. And then, you know, this is a natural thing. I've been on YouTube for 15 years. I'm incredibly grateful for any viewers who've been with me along for the ride, and anyone who's a newcomer who jumps in at any time. But at the same time, I understand that the nature of the beast is that it's a revolving door, and people come in and out all the time. There's people who are regulars, and then they disappear. It's sad, but that's what happens, right? So the reason I'm bringing this up is I know for a fact there is some active efforts to try to harass my viewership. Why should Cynical 2 Double D be upset? What are you talking about? Why are you guys harassing the person who tipped? Alright, you know what? Fuck you. I'm banning every fucking person who's harassing Cynical 2 Double D right now. I'm serious. Fuck you. You come in my chat, and someone comes in and is generous to help us hit the tips goal. Oh, let's just harass him in the chat and make fun of him and yell at him for donating. Now, fuck you. You don't deserve to fucking be here then. Get the fuck out. Well, there's more, but I can't get to them right now because it scrolled off my screen. And Cynical, I totally apologize that you get harassed for tipping. Understand that this does happen. On my earlier streams, I actually tell people you should turn off your private messages on Twitch altogether if you're going to watch my streams, because people do this all. People out there who, sadly, have used their real names, their real information, and or people have found out their real information, and they're trying to harass them online. I apologize for that. Obviously, I have absolutely nothing to do with it, and I wish that it wouldn't happen. It's the most toxic, negative of people on this planet who do stuff like that. You have to understand something. They're not like you and me. These are not people who are normal. People who are normal don't waste their time trying to make other people miserable all day. They don't. Why do you think these people who have been making this toxic content about me for all these years are not well-adjusted, normal, happy people like us? We want to do positive things with our lives. We enjoy spending time with family and friends. We enjoy doing positive activities and content. We don't want to bring down others in order to get a laugh, and we don't want to degrade other people around us to make ourselves feel better, because we don't have to do that. We have positivity in our lives. People who focus on that kind of negative activity are absolutely not well adjusted up here, and that's why they act like that. And that's why we all got to be careful. Because these kind of people, you never know what they're going to do, and you don't know how they're going to act, or they don't have a moral compass. That's why they harass people who are completely unrelated to anything. You understand? Because his viewers are brain dead. It just doesn't seem to make any sense that they would do these things. How does this negatively affect Phil? It doesn't. It doesn't affect me at all. I only find out about it because people tell me about it through third-party means. Like, I'm not affected by it at all. And then someone will tell me, oh, this is going on, just so you know. I just got wind of it. I just got wind of it overnight that there is now a concerted effort from these people who are so upset because they've torn themselves down with false copyright strikes, okay? Which is ridiculous that they would even do that. They're abusing their own copyright system. You know, it's the dumbest thing. And now they're so upset at me, even though I have nothing to do with it, that now they're going to, like, lash out at others and try to take down anything they can. It's pretty messed up, the way that they're behaving, okay? So, yeah, if you're a viewer of mine, please do your due diligence and do what you can to be protective of yourself and your online identity. And if that means, listen, be careful about strangers who you invite into private conversations and what you say and things like that, because you don't know what little information they can take that they can basically do or use to do something negative towards you or your family or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people take so much for granted. I've told you guys years ago, delete your Facebook. There's no reason to have a Facebook. Facebook is nothing but liability and risk. You can easily keep in contact with all of your family members without a public Facebook account. Or if you have a Facebook, private it. Make it only for your family members. That's it. There is absolutely no reason someone should have a Facebook and they're constantly posting up photos of everywhere I go. Here's where I work. Here's all of this. You're out of your mind. Really. You have this weird false sense of security about the internet that doesn't really exist in the modern day. The internet today is used for identity theft, trolling, and malicious activity literally on a daily basis by millions of people.
I'm now the underdog of the internet again.
There's absolutely no reason that you should feel safe on the internet and that you should just be throwing all of your public information out there. Even if you think, oh, I'm a nobody and no one's going to mess with me, it's kind of the opposite. If you're a nobody, someone can get away with messing with you and no one will ever be the wiser. It becomes complete immunity to any kind of repercussion if someone harasses you because no one even thinks twice about that anyone would care if you get harassed. Do you understand? These people get their jollies. They actually get pleasure out of hurting others and knowing they got away with it. Whether or not they even see the repercussions of what they've done, they don't care. As long as they think, I hurt someone, they actually feel good. Okay? So please understand that I'm trying to be helpful. I'm not trying to scare anyone. All right? I'm not. I don't want you to feel like, oh my God, the internet is a scary place and no one should ever use it. It's quite the opposite. The internet can be a very positive, fun, productive, and meaningful place as long as you're careful. And that's what I think a lot of people have forgotten in the modern day. In the last 5 years, a lot of people, oh, I'll just post up everything everywhere and I'm good. No, you can't do that because now you end up with all this risk, okay? So I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend that everyone out there be safe and be careful, all right? Especially if you're a viewer on this channel, you know, sadly, there are forces at work behind the scenes, very negative people who, even though they aren't really doing much to me, they will do whatever they can to hurt whoever they can because they're upset. They're upset that for many, many years, all right, they've been on the internet and had this negative, toxic influence and they got popularity and they made money doing all these things. Us people with intelligent brains that work, that are hinged properly, right, we're screwed in correctly. And now all of a sudden, because they're attacking each other, breaking the law to hurt each other, they now are upset that they don't have free reign to do it anymore and they don't know what to do, right? They don't have the means to really stop it. We've all tried contacting YouTube to get them to stop it, and YouTube doesn't care. YouTube's attitude is, you got a problem? Sue someone. That's literally their attitude. And it's like the dumbest attitude I've ever heard because the only company that's going to successfully be sued is YouTube. YouTube's copyright system is completely inept. It allows impersonation. It allows for false copyright strikes constantly. And their attitude is, you clean up our mess. Our system is inefficient. You clean it up. How does that make any sense in a legal capacity? They're granting false copyright claims constantly, yet they do nothing to vet them, and then they expect you to clean them up. That's not true. That's not how it would work. If it goes to court, they're going to get destroyed. But they're of this weird attitude that, oh well, no one will ever sue us, so it's not a big deal. Well, I guess we're going to see if anything ever happens, but like I said, for me, again, I've tried. They don't listen. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't stop this hateful conduct, you know, that's going on against these people. And I don't wish it on them. But what is wrong is that then they lash out against others around them who are not involved. You know, I'm not involved. My viewership is not involved. It has to stop. You know, go talk to the parties who you feel could actually help you because what you're doing is destructive, right? So if you're a viewer of mine, please be careful. Really, I mean it. Now is the time to be very, very diligent and careful with what you're doing on the internet, okay? Do not take risk. Do not post up private information in my chat, on your social media. Be very careful about all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful because I hate hearing a horror story of, oh, did you hear that so-and-so got doxxed or whatever? It's terrible. I don't want to hear that. But I certainly have no control over it, nor can I really help anyone when they get involved in that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, that's not doxing. That's advertisement. That's not doxing. That's business.